Welcome back, guys. If you are new to my channel, my name is Celeste. I am a second-year nurse at my local hospital here. It is a very small hospital. There's not a whole lot, but I do want to talk about all about nurse residency. I've gotten quite a bit of questions asking about the nurse residency program, how did it work, and things of that sort, why I chose the nurse residency program. So in my current hospital, I'll just start off with every new hire, every new nurse is required to do the nurse residency program. You can't just apply and not be in the program. So every new hire, every new nurse has to do it at my hospital at least. I know some other hospitals only have limited capacity. They only take a certain amount. But if your hospital has it, I strongly recommend taking it. Please, 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 just because it is a lot of extra support. And I will kind of go through it and describe what it was like for me personally at my nurse residency program. I know a lot of them are different. A lot of them do different things and such, but I think the majority, the baseline of support is kind of maintained always there. So I have some notes here that I'll be looking at just to kind of preface like the biggest things that I thought were the most important. First of all, I want to say that the nurse residency program was a whole year. So it was your whole first year as a nurse, from when you first start all the way up until you complete that first year. And so I just want to say, guys, you have made it so far. If you are here watching this video, it's because you are almost done with school and you are already looking at graduating, or many of you have graduated. And so congratulations if you are almost there or already there. So it is huge. Just want to say that it is huge. Also, I want to say that it's going to be hard, your first year is going to be hard because everything is new. You're going to be straight out of school, all these skills, everything you've learned in school, you have it in your nurse brain, but you probably haven't practiced all those skills on real life patients. And so it can be scary, definitely. But the nurse residency program definitely helped me prepare for this, just because we only did a lot of different workshops, classes. We went over things together. We talked about things together. We asked, what about this? What about when this happens? We had those peers around us, and I kind of will go around to talk about that some more. But just want to say, be gentle to yourself that first year. Don't feel like you're the only one, because you are not. I promise you, if you ask your peers, they're going through the same thing. A lot of people have pre-shift anxiety. That is totally normal. That's normal response to your body. You guys should know, like flight or fight response. That's normal. And that can be up to 6 months to a year even. So just be gentle to yourself. Do whatever you can the night before your shift, the morning of. Make yourself a coffee, listen to music, some podcasts, pray, whatever it is that kind of will calm your nerves. I think those are the biggest things. And so, yes, it's a huge learning curve in the beginning, and the nurse residency program kind of just helps guide you through the biggest struggles, things that you'll go through, and how to kind of overcome those things. So, of course, with everything being so new, usually it's a new job, new culture, new people, unless you've already worked there, such as a CNA or tech, or for the most part, it will be new. And so it's just a culture shock, not a culture shock, but just a shock to your body. And you're gonna feel nervous. Everything's so new, Being a nurse is such a huge role to take on. You have so much responsibility. And I don't mean this in any way to make you feel more nervous or, but it's something to take very seriously. And we're taking care of real humans. And so, yes, it is normal, guys. It will pass. It will not last for long. It will feel like it's forever, but you will get through it. Like me, I can't believe that I'm already coming up on the 2-year mark of being a nurse. which is so crazy because I feel like I just graduated and I still feel like a baby nurse. It's been 2 years, but anyways, yes, my nurse residency program provided classes. So on top of my regular shifts, so I would have, well, not on top, but I would have 2 scheduled shifts, 12 hours, and then I would have 8 hours of my nurse residency program. And yes, we get paid for education. So I would have my 2 shifts, then I would do my nurse residency program. And usually in those classes, we would go over things such as like we would have workshops. In these workshops, they were mandatory. We had to go to all of these. So we would go over like the basic essentials, like how to use the pump. So we would have workshop with the pump, ask any questions, because I know there's no dumb questions, but sometimes when you're out on the floor with your preceptor and stuff, you don't want to ask things that you feel like you should already know. So this is a space that is provided for everybody, all your peers, to be able to ask whatever question it is that you have about the pumps, anything related to that, and you can truly just learn it all and go from there. Literally all the skills, any skill that we felt like we needed help with, chest tubes, dressing line changes, like central dressings, anything. We had classes on different things. There were some things that were already set up that our instructor was like, we're going to go over all these things, like different skills, Foley placement, you name it. But then there was also chances for if we wanted something, a specific skill, they could prep it for us and have it, and then we can ask questions and learn more about it and things like that. So a lot of the times we did have hands-on workshops such as that, but then we also had regular classes like, okay, what to look for in a patient with pneumonia. Okay, so this is usually what the treatment will be. It was kind of like a super fast overview pace of nursing school of certain diagnoses and things like that. But it was more related to policies and protocols to our specific hospital because, as you guys know, there's different policies, protocols per every institute. So that was always really nice. They showed us where to look for their policies, where they were, if we have any doubts or questions, what are our resources. We know we have our preceptor, we have other peers around us, we have our charge nurse, things like that, how to go up the chain of command, whatever it's called. If so, but learning to know what our resources are. We also have what's called the intranet that will provide step-by-step on how to do certain things at our specific institute, like dressing change. You could go into the dressing change and it'll tell you what you need, how to do it, things like that. So they definitely taught us to use our resources and where they were and what they were. So that was very helpful. They kind of set you up for success, give you everything that you need for when you do need help and you're on your own, you have these things. So another great thing that I found from the nurse residency program was that sometimes we just had classes that were just debriefing. What I mean by that is we just talked about what we were feeling, what we were struggling with, what was hard, what we didn't like, what was kind of interesting, what's different from nursing school to real world nursing. And you really feel alone when you're out on the floor on your units because you don't necessarily see those peers that you started on, got hired with. But then you guys all come together in one room and just, even though you're in all different departments, you're all kind of going through the same feelings, the same everything. And so it's just really nice to be able to relate to others and just to feel like, wow, like we are doing this. Yes, it's hard. Yes, there's anxiety sometimes, and yes, it can be hard. I said that again, but hard, yes, for sure. It's just a good place to be able to just chat and just talk about how you're feeling. So it's a good support system. Our program did provide us homework, so when we had our classes and we went over like the different diagnoses, like I said, we usually did have some homework to do, like pre-class work. So that was kind of the not so pro of it, but it was all to benefit us at the end of the day. And because we did have those classes, sometimes our schedule had to be changed. So say we worked Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Sometimes we would have class on Monday, so then it would kind of have to adjust our schedule based off of those classes. But it was only for that first year. After our first year, our regular work schedule pattern was how it should be. So, and I just want to say that this program just provides a huge time for you to ask your questions, ask them away. And we all know, everybody hears, there's no dumb questions, just ask away, ask the why questions. But for reals, this is the time for you to ask everything, anything that you have inside that you're not sure of, just ask it, because there's no other time where you're going to have all this support, all these people around you where you can ask all these questions. This is your first year of nursing, and this is the time for you to learn and time for you to ask all the questions. I mean, even after your program, I'm not saying you can't ask questions, you can, but I would just take full on advantage of this time that this program is here for you and to support you and to give you resources and to answer your questions and just give you the ability and just have that capability of just being able to mature as a little baby nurse. The other thing I want to say that was really great about this program at my facility was that we focused on time management skills, things we could do to kind of help with that, clustering our care. So if you're going to go in and you have some meds in the morning, might as well grab those meds and do your head to toe assessment, do your vitals all while you're in there. Cluster your care so you're not going in and out of rooms, and also just kind of being prepared before you even start your med pass. Grab your flushes, your alcohol pads, all the necessities, your stethoscope, so that way you don't go in and you're like, oh, I don't have a flush, and then have to go back and things like that. So just really trying to be mindful of those things, getting organized and clustering care. And then also at our program, we started off with 3 patients. Usually we cap out at 5 patients, but all new nurses start off at 3 patients for a couple weeks. Once they kind of get the hang of it, then they can progress to 4 patients and then eventually 5. So that was very nice because it kind of eased you in. Yeah, those are the biggest things I would say, is that it provides a space for your learning, for this new learning curve, for you to ask questions. You'll have classes and workshops, extra resources, things that you can find on your own when you need them. And then also being able to debrief with peers and just having that social support there. Because of course you can talk to your people at home, your family, and tell them what you're going through, but they're not going to understand because they're not going through it. They're not a nurse. Or if they are, that's amazing. But for the most part, most of our family is not involved in the medical world, and so they truly don't understand what we are feeling. So honestly, that was the most amazing thing. And it's just a time for you to ask your questions and build on your critical thinking. Just ask away, guys. I just want to say that I am so proud of each and every one of you, even if you're just starting nursing school, because that is so huge. Nursing school is so hard. There's so much that gets taken away. Everything zooms and focuses in on nursing school, and you say no to things that you wish you could do, but it will all be worth it. Your sacrifices, everything. You feel like you're missing out, but it will be all done in short. And when you're a nurse, you will be glad you did it. And I'll see you guys on the next one.